Hey guys, happy Easter weekend. I hope everyone is enjoying this wonderful weekend. You are talking to Reed, where I come to talk to you about what I have either read in the blogs, heard on the streets, or watched on TV. Today we are doing what I have read in the blogs. So stick around. This is going to be an interesting one. If you like what you hear, please make sure you like, comment, subscribe even. Come on back for more. I usually do reviews and we talk about hot topics in the news and on the blogs and reviews over some of our great TV shows, reality shows and things. So yeah, stick around for more. So we are talking about what I've read. And this is pertaining to 90 Day Fiance. Now, if you guys recall, on my 90 Day Fiance review, the last video regarding the reunion, part 2, we spoke briefly about Memphis and Hamza, and that's because Memphis allegedly got sick, and I use that word very loosely, and decided to leave the reunion. I gave you guys my opinion. I told you guys that I do not believe she was sick. I believe that she realized that these questions she would not be able to get around, okay? Sean, the host, you may have been able to get around with her because she's not as direct as everyone else, but not with Jasmine, not with Ben for sure, not with anyone else there. Gino even, you would not have been able to get around those questions. So you decided to bail. So, well, it's been released that Memphis and Hamza are no longer together. Hamza is allegedly staying in Chicago. I don't know who's paying the bills there, but he's there. And Memphis is in Michigan with her kids. So it starts off where Hamza's sister, if you recall, Hamza's sister is the only one that was able to speak English. English is her second language, you can definitely tell, but she definitely understands English. So she has released online that, basically that Memphis is putting on an act as if she's like this good person, when really she is just not a nice person. She's, just very unkind. Now, many of us, we already sensed that, the viewers have. Now, there are a few Memphis supporters, but from what I see online, Memphis support team is very, very small because the rest of us see through the BS. Well, some messages between Memphis and Hamza, as well as Memphis and Hamza's sister, has been released online. It's been leaked. I use that word very loosely because how is it leaked when you can clearly see the majority of this is coming from Memphis? And the way that the questioning is going, it's such a gaslight and it's such as ridiculous, but we'll go through it all. Let's get through this, okay? And then I'll go and I'll try to give my opinion. So right now we have a message between Memphis and Hamza's sister, okay? Ryra, I don't know if that's her name. Let's just call her Ra, because I do not want to be disrespectful and say the complete name incorrectly. So Memphis speaks to the sister and she's like, your brother scammed me. Now this is how we know that this is coming from Memphis, is because the green, you'll see the blue check marks, and that is when it is coming from the person whose screen we're looking at. That blue check mark means that this is Memphis. So this is Memphis' release of things, but, we'll say allegedly, whatever. I'm rolling of the eyes. But anyway, she tells the sister, your brother scammed me. The sister's like, what? She goes, yeah, your brother said if I can't move cities, he will go without me. Now he is angry. The sister goes, Hamza, he doesn't like that place. He told me that. She goes, Memphis replies, why would I continue to be married to someone who says that they will leave me if I can't move out of state until Bryson graduates? Now, I'm guessing Bryson is a child from her previous relationship, right? I don't know if that's, because I think her and Hamza had a girl. So I'm guessing Bryson is a child from a previous relationship. She's saying that basically until the child graduates, then she can't leave the city, which I can see that because that sometimes happens within separations and divorce, where during the custody battle, they work out where you cannot take the child outside of where the father resides, okay? So I guess that's what she's trying to say here. So then she goes on and she says, he has complained all day. He is not happy here. That gives me more stress. That's when the sister says, why doesn't he like Muskegon? That is where they stay. They say Muskegon, Michigan, which seems to be a small town in Michigan. And she's asking, why doesn't he like the city? And, Memphis replies, I don't know. He says there's no big city. I took him by the beach and he didn't seem to care. He says he doesn't want to live here. That's when the sister says, I'll speak with him. She replies, he wants a big city with lots of lights and business. She goes, your brother is showing me that he's not here for the right reasons. Why she says he's not here, that he's here for the wrong reasons. Okay, let's briefly address that. Memphis lives in a small town. Hamza, you came to this city like most of foreigners. You come to the country assuming that everything is looking like Hollywood, like California, or everything is resembling New York City, right? Like Manhattan, big bright lights. You're going to see what Statue of Liberty over there in New York. Like you came to this country, I'm guessing, assuming to get the big glam, something you can take photos like a tourist and show your family and friends back home. And only for you to realize that you're staying in a small town with Memphis. Now, here's the thing. I do agree with Memphis in a sense where it's like, what's your reason for being here? Because if you're coming here because you're in love with me, then you trying to force me to move when I've been living in this town for, Memphis is 35 years old? Been living in this town for decades, okay? And you want to force me to move to a whole nother state. It's not that easy in the U.S. So that does make me question what would be your reason for coming here. But then at the same time, though, we all know that Hamza brought himself to the U.S. He married her just to come to the U.S. We all know that. And I say that simply because the way that Memphis was handling him in Tunisia, it is clear to anyone. A man that still wanted to marry her after the countless disrespect to him, his sister, and his mother, a Muslim man at that, and you still said, I'm going to marry you? Yeah, like how? You're claiming love and this is your first time meeting? And she's coming with all of these documents to sign and stuff and trying to force you to do things? Hamza, you for sure was looking to move in just to come to the U.S. and just to get your green card, okay? But I do not feel bad for Memphis at that moment because you had to have known that as well. So let's keep going. So now other things are released. She releases messages between Hamza and herself, okay? Now these messages, you can clearly see majority of the time, Hamza has not responded. Now, keep in mind that neither one of them speak the other language, right? Hamza does not speak English. Memphis does not speak Hamza's native language, okay? Keep that in mind. They communicate through Google Translate. Keep that in mind. Without that, there is no communication. Keep that in mind. Let's read what this says. She goes, this is to Hamza. She writes, I love you with all of my heart, and you just took my heart out of my chest and stumped on it. Not once have you done anything to show me you appreciate me. I'm always trying to help you. I married you because I loved you. I had a baby for you. Now that is love. I did over and beyond to get you here. Since you have been here, it has been only about you, what you want. You act like I don't ever let you do anything. You have only been here a month. I don't understand. All I have ever wanted was for you to be happy. Okay? She posts another message, which I don't even know if it's from the same day. But she posts another message. It says, where he says, I will wait for you. You know, I love you and I can't be far from my daughter. Just understand me. I don't want you sad and crying. You are dear to my heart. She responds, please understand, I love you and your families. Please understand, I only want the best for all of us. Soon enough, we will be able to move. But we have to prepare so that we can be successful. We can't fail. We have children to protect and care for it. It hurts my feelings when you told my daughter not to love me. I would have never told her that about you. That makes me wonder if you truly love me. He goes, I know I'm with you. Don't worry. I'll wait for you. Don't forget I love you. I don't want to lose you. She goes, how can I trust you? You won't try to make my daughter hate me. Guys, Memphis is setting Hamza up for this big break. And y'all crazy if y'all don't see that. Let me tell you something. I've been in a situation like this. You are gaslighting. You are listing all of these things that clearly has nothing to do with what you guys are talking about. You clearly see after message after message after message, he's barely responding. And it could be because of the breakdown in communication due to the fact that you guys don't understand the other's language. Speaking of not understanding the other's language, your daughter is not even 6 months, Memphis. Your daughter can barely lift her head, okay? Probably not even crawling yet, all right? Meaning that I damn sure know she doesn't know how to read, okay? You don't understand his language at all. Hence the reason why you use Google Translate. So you want to convince me that all of a sudden you understand that he says to a small infant baby that he wants the baby to hate the mother? What? What gave you that? That he says that to a baby? How will he communicate that to a baby? Why would a baby even understand that? Memphis, you think we are slow. You think we're dumb. It is so clear. And let me tell you, the moment I read that, the moment I literally discredited everything else. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I discredited everything else. It makes no sense. This is your attempt. And that's why these things were released. You're trying to change the direction on how people view Hamza and take it off of you when you want to break from this, trying to get yourself out of this to show that, oh, he used me for papers, this and that. Of course he tried to get to this country, but it doesn't change the fact that you are still responsible for him. You're still responsible for him. You put on him a baby that I'm going to stand 10 toes down and say, I don't believe it's his. Okay? You put a baby on him that I don't believe is his. You're only out there for 3 weeks. And you're saying that you were 4 weeks pregnant. Now you're saying, no, I was actually out there for 4 weeks. Girl, Memphis, you came there pregnant. That's why you were so quick to jump into sexy time. That's why of all of this, you came there pregnant. From who? I don't know. Could be the ex-husband, could be whoever. I don't know. But I don't think that baby belongs to Hamza. But Hamza's going to claim that baby. Because that baby is what helped to get him here to the country. Both of you guys are playing chess. Right? You're playing a game of chess. And you're trying to outdo the other. That's what it is. You are treating this life like a game of chess. Trying to outdo the other. You played off of Hamza's naiveness. With him being from a whole nother country, him not speaking the language, and him being significantly younger than you. With no real experience of anything. Okay? And he allowed it because they helped get him here. Okay? And now you are having these issues because it's like you're recognizing, which you should have recognized that there in Tunisia, but you're recognizing now that, you know what, maybe this isn't going to work. So now I know that the law states 10 years I'm responsible for. Let me figure out a way to get him out of the country. To get him completely out of his country. Now you're going to say, yeah, he's trying to make my daughter hate me. An infant? How? An infant. Girl, I'm not about to play with you. I'm not about to play with you. Okay, let's keep going with this. She goes on. She goes, I cry all day. And have panic attacks. I have not had panic attacks in a long time, and you caused me to have them again. It says, he responds with, it will fix everything. I'm guessing he meant to say, I will fix everything. She responds, I will tell you what the lawyer says, but you can't. It says life with me. I'm guessing that means live with me. Again, they are using translators to even communicate with one another. So everything is going to be off. So she's basically trying to say, you can't live with me. It's not healthy for my kids. So then she goes on. She goes, if you care for my kids, you will not take out your frustrations on them. This is a household full of people that don't understand the other. Girl, listen. She continues on. You are not patient, and I see that, and so do my kids. I'm done talking. I will let you know what the lawyer says. If I can file for the divorce today, I will. So then they go on. She has another screenshot here where he's like, you know, you can barely read what is being said at the top. I'm confused with it. So then she goes, Hamza, all you care about is yourself. You still have not said one time that you love me. I knew you used me. I told you the lawyer submitted to get the paperwork because it never came. How many times do I have to tell you? I see you only care about your papers, not your wife. It is okay. I will no longer cry for you. She goes on. She speaks about, I guess, like it was a time where, and this is different messages over a different time period. She has them pasted together at different dates, but she combines them together. It's as if you can tell she's trying to paint this narrative. It's so obvious. We see December 24th next to a January 4th. The other one said, if I quote, what was the other one? It was January 12th next to a January 6th. Like it's very much incomplete, and it's not showing of her side of anything. And we all watch this woman disrespect the crap out of this man's family and him. And now we are playing victim role. And she is mixing and pasting things. She goes on. I guess she's asking him what he wants to eat. And what does she want the spaghetti to be made with? He's like, you know, red peppers, tomatoes, cumin, garlic, blah, blah. She goes, why would you snatch your phone out of my hand? Anyone would think you were doing something you're not supposed to. If I did that to you, you would be mad. First off, I'm snatching the phone out of anyone's hand because it's my phone. That's number one. And the way that Memphis is going to the extreme to paint this narrative of Hamza, I don't blame him for snatching the phone. Memphis strikes me as a type that will literally send messages to herself from Hamza's phone and then release it online. This is just what I think. Because the way she is painting this narrative, or at least attempting to, I don't put anything past people that move that way. So let's continue. She goes, I feel so defeated. I don't know what else I can do for you. All I do, and I still feel like you don't. And then it cuts off. She goes on to the next one. I don't feel you are attracted to me. I feel like you do not try to spend time with me. You do not give me affection, and you spend all of your day on the phone. You barely play with your own daughter. Okay? This is Memphis. I am sick of this narrative. So, of course, Hamza's sister decides to come to Hamza's defense, and she releases a couple of things herself. Now, this is her communicating with Memphis, and they are discussing, I guess, Hamza's feelings regarding the relationship between Memphis and her ex-husband. So, the sister says, Hamza does not mind to speak with your ex-husband, but he'll be sad with him alone, okay? Memphis says, Hamza needs to understand that Justin is a good guy and a good father, and he only wants the best for everyone. Listen, Hamza should be happy. Without Justin, I could not have gone to Tunisia. The sister responds, Hamza does not mind to speak with your ex-husband, but he feels jealous when you go alone to his house, okay? So then Memphis responds, Justin is not here. He is at work, and when he gets here, I will be leaving. I just can't leave the kids alone. That is life. I have children with him. I'm not a child. I do not need a chaperone. The sister responds, Hamza, he don't feel angry about the kids or about your ex-husband, and you know that. Hamza, he understands your situation, but he can't hide his feelings, and that he is jealous when you're in the ex-husband's house. So it's not a problem. He can understand your situation, and you understand his feelings as well. Keep in mind there's a language barrier here. It's normally he feels like this. Okay, so long story short, she's basically trying to say that Hamza has no problem with the relationship between you and your ex-husband. However, he does have an issue with you spending your time inside that man's house, knowing good and well that you have a whole husband. And I agree with that. The excuse of, well, he's at work, and so I'm just here until he gets back. Then why aren't the kids at your house and he picks them up afterwards? That makes no sense. It makes no sense. Either you are dropping the kids off or you're not. I wish my guy would say to me that when dropping the kids off at the ex-wife's house, that I'm chilling inside there. Just chilling. We're spending all of our time inside. What? Especially if I don't have a relationship with that ex-wife to know what's really going on. Because you tend to spend a lot of time over at your ex-husband's house, even when you quote-unquote failed the exam. Memphis, let me tell you something. You couldn't get away with that with a lot of men, and you know that. And you are not going to make this seem as if Hamza this is all in his head. We're not going to do that, because that doesn't look right to a lot of people. You're not just dropping the kids off. Oh, well, he's at work, so I guess I got to sit around here because I can't leave them alone. Then keep them at your home. Keep them at your home with you and Hamza until he comes back. Or does he not have family or a sitter to watch the kids? Like, it makes no sense to me that you will need to be in the house relaxing until he gets back home because, well, he's not home and I can't leave the kids alone. Then keep them at your house, girl. That makes no sense. I'm sorry, and nobody's going to convince me differently. But Memphis responds to Hamza's sister, and she goes, well, he does not need to be with me then if he has a problem with this, because he knows Justin is in the kid's life, and right now he is helping me out greatly, and I'm done arguing. My life is stressful enough. Girl. Memphis, yet you're trying to play victim. Yeah, you are trying to play victim. I just want to understand about all of this. It's really deplorable, and you guys can't make this feel any better with this. And so, as Memphis is going to great lengths to, basically destroy Hamza's character, Hamza responds. He writes a message where he says, when a person can no longer control you, they will try to control how others see you. These lies will feel unfair, but stay above it, trusting that other people will eventually see the truth, just like you did. Let me tell you something. Hamza, I see it. I see it, one, because I've experienced it. And also I see it because it just doesn't add up. It doesn't add up from the cut and paste messages that are all over the place. Okay, Memphis. And it doesn't make sense from what we've seen of the behavior in Tunisia. It doesn't make sense the moment she said you're trying to talk an infant into hating the mother. What? An infant that can't read or write, barely lift their head up? That's what he's trying to talk into this? You don't even understand his language. He doesn't understand yours. But you just so happen to understand he's trying to talk a baby into hating you. Memphis, you are trying to build your case for this divorce in hopes that it will help to get him back to Tunisia where you will not be responsible for him. That's what you're trying to do. You're trying to build that case up. And the problem is that so many people didn't believe it. So then you go online and you're crying, telling people to leave you alone and that people don't live in your household, this and that. See, you're right, we don't live in your household. But you were okay with whatever narrative would have been if the narrative would have been that Hamza was a crappy person. But because people are reading through it, all of a sudden you're crying, you don't live in our household, leave us alone. Okay. Girl, we reading messages that were leaked from your phone. But we should be leaving us alone. Okay. All right, sis. Yes, I want to know what you guys think about all of this. I am glad that Hamza's sister is speaking up. Like, Hamza is very much passive. We've witnessed this, right? I don't feel bad for either one of them. I want to be clear. I don't feel bad for either one of them because Memphis showed you who she was when she was in Tunisia. So you had no business coming here, but you really wanted to get to the U.S. And you sound ridiculous trying to convince her to move to a whole nother city just for you to feel better, knowing good and well that she has kids and a previous relationship and a life that she made in that particular town. Okay? So yes, I agree that, yeah, it doesn't look like you came in for the right reasons, but we knew that. So with that being said, I don't feel bad for you with the way that she is trying to switch up this narrative. I do agree that it's BS. I do see it, so I don't believe it. But as far as me feeling bad for you that she's doing this to you, I do not, Hamza, at all. And Memphis, I don't feel bad for your desperate behind. And especially with these lies that you are building. You see, when this hole that you are trying to create for Hamza to fall into, you're going to end up falling into it yourself. Because you're trying to build your case to get him back to Tunisia. And you're going to end up similar to Danielle and Muhammad, where he still is able to stay in his country. And you're going to be pissed. You're going to be pissed. Okay, so let me know you guys' thoughts. Comment below. Do you think that Hamza is really this monster that Memphis is trying to paint him out to be? Or do you think that Memphis is just trying to control the narrative? Do you think that, you know? Let me know. Comment below. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will speak with you guys later. Bye.